Hello, and welcome to Spirit Among Us. So this week we've been talking all about love, specifically how love is defined in 1 Corinthians 13. Monday we looked about some things that love is. Yesterday we looked at some things that love is not. And today we're going to take a look at some things that love doesn't do. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 and 5. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. So what I want to focus on today in these verses are the end. It does not insist on its own way. Love does not insist on its own way. Now I think we've all had experience with this. We've all had experience with wanting our own way and wanting to insist on what we know is best, especially when it comes to our relationship with God. We make plans every single day of our lives, whether it's things like going to work or having time with family, things that we decide we need to get done or things we'd like to do for fun. We make all kinds of plans, and we make those plans with the idea that we know what's best, with the thinking that, okay, this is the best option. This is the best thing for me to do. This would be the most productive, the most useful, maybe the most God-honoring. And so we make that decision. We plan that out. But, as we probably all know, plans don't always go our way. Plans don't always work out the way we want them to. And that's because we don't always know what's best. But yet sometimes we can get this attitude with God when our plans don't work out. We can get a little upset because we want our own way. We want our plans to work because we're convinced that we know what is best. So we do insist on our own way. We insist that, no, God, I know what's best. I know this needs to happen this way. But we don't. And that's how God teaches us to surrender to Him. So this idea of not insisting on our own way out of love is apparent in our relationship with God. And it should also be apparent in our relationship with others. In any human relationship, there needs to be compromise. Any relationship is made of two fallen people, two sinful people who don't have a perfect understanding of everything. Everybody's going to make a mistake at one time or another. Everyone's going to have a time when they are wrong and a time when they are right. So in a relationship with two people, that's why there needs to be compromise. Because one person shouldn't be confident that they know what's best all the time. Because they don't. They're a fallen person. They don't know what's best all the time. So love in a relationship works by regarding the feelings, emotions, opinions, and desires of the other person and not just saying, well, we need to do this way because I know it's best and I want to do it this way. Or I think it should be done this way, so we're going to do it this way. That's not love. Love is built on compromise. It does not insist on its own way. Now, an example of this can be found in Jesus in John chapter 15, verses 12 through 14. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. So in the beginning of these verses, Jesus is saying that we need to love one another as much as Jesus has loved us. And then he says, this is the greatest example of love, to lay down your life for your friends. There is no greater example of love than this. And truly, this is an act of complete selflessness. You remember the Garden of Gethsemane? When Jesus was praying to God the Father, he knew that the cross was coming. He knew all the pain that he was about to face and all the torture he was going to have to go through. And he prayed and he said, Lord, If there is any other way, take this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done." In the Garden of Gethsemane, we can get some insight into the humanity of Jesus, understanding that he actually had to face that pain, but he didn't necessarily want all of that pain that was associated with dying for us. Even though divinely he knew that was the best way, even though he knew that was the only way we could be saved and reconciled, his humanity was praying in that moment, recognizing that that is painful and I don't want that pain. But in that very moment, out of love, he did not insist on his own way. He was not selfish. He expressed love by saying, "Not my will be done, but your will be done." So, Jesus is the greatest example we have of love. He laid down his own life out of complete selflessness for us. So in our relationships with other people, let us not insist on our own way. And let us always remember that love is not selfish. Thank you for watching, and God bless.